Okay students, let us continue the next topic of the chapter, that is alkynes. Alkynes are those hydrocarbons which contains one C triple bond C, and the general formula of the alkynes is CnH2n minus 2. Okay, this whenever you get such type of formula, and you have to recollect that you might have got similar formula for enes and anes. And what would be that formula? Anes is CnH2n plus 2 and ene is CnH2n. Like that, if you recollect, you will remember more instead of simply by adding. Okay, so the difference between this minus 2 plus 2, no 2, like that. Okay, so coming to the nomenclature of this alkynes, all rules again which I have given for the alkanes, kenes are identical. That means long chain carbon you have to identify, and if it is 3 carbon you have to call prop prefix, but you have to end up the suffix as "-ine". That's it. Instead of "-ane" for alkanes, "-ene" for alkenes, now we have to call for alkynes as "-ine" as the suffix. The other rules are same. Then coming to the first member of this alkyne series, because I want to write a triple bond, definitely I need a 2 carbon moiety. Therefore, the first member must be containing minimum carbons, that is 2 carbon. This is called eth. When we say 2 carbon means eth, so eth is the prefix. Then due to having the triple bond, suffix is "-ine". Therefore, it is ethyne. If it would have been having double bond only, ene you would have said. If it having only single bond, ethane you have said. I hope you are understanding. You are remembering, I mean to say, because you know already these things, right? Okay. Coming to the second member of this compound is alkynes is second member consists 3 carbons. Therefore, it is prop. And due to having the triple bond, it is prop-ine. Coming to the third member of this series. Third member means no need to contain 3 carbons. It should contain, you have to count like this. If the third member of alkanes would be propane, because methane was the first. See, H I can write. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Please count carbon atoms chain bonds. See, I forgot I wrote H, but now I recollect that 3 bonds here, 1 bond here. Altogether 4 bonds to this carbon. Therefore, I should not write H. So like that, you have to keep in your mind, to the carbon you have to write only 4 bonds. Because butane. Why it is butane? But because of having the 4 carbons. Because of having, see, like that, fourth member and fifth member, means fourth member will have, see, I am writing triple bond only onto the first place so that you will understand more easily. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons. Therefore, I should write pent-ine. Okay. Similarly, fifth member will be hexyne. Okay. So I hope you are understanding. First member will be ethyne, because I need to write minimum. See, 1 carbon cannot be present for alkynes, but can be present for alkanes. Even it is not possible for alkenes also. Right. Then coming to some examples of this nomenclature. See, I would like to give line structure. Now, how to just simple examples I am giving. Okay, how to give the name of these compounds. You just practice by taking any examples from the textbooks. Now, do I start numbering from this side or this side? There are 2 chances for us, because counting from here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon long chain, or this side also 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon long chain. and from here if you count the substituent second number you will get. But from here if you count third number will be the substituent. As we said that substituent should get the least number, right? No. Here that rule is not applicable. Okay, if it is applicable also, first we should consider the functional group. That means the triple bond. Triple bond, it can be considered to be a functional group. Therefore, functional group should get the least number. We have another rule. So that overcomes the substituent rule. Therefore, numbering starts from this side. Number 1 will be given for the CH, and number 2 will be given for the C, and this 3 and this 4. Therefore, first, because of having the 4 carbons, it is bute, right? Okay, so this compound which is having 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon moiety, I can call its prefix as bute. But numbering should give from which side? Either from left side or from the right side. From which side I should give the numbering? As we have learnt, substituent should get the least number, right? But other than that, we have another rule that functional group should get the least number, right? So alkynes should be considered to be functional groups, are the more important. So alkyne carbon should get the least number. Therefore, numbering should start from this side. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? Therefore, the substituent is getting third position. Therefore, 3-methyl, because of having 4 carbons, therefore bute. And position of function, this alkyne, triple bond also we have to mention, that is 1, not 2 please, it is 1. From where it is starting, you have to count that is the position of the triple bond or double bond, right? So here 1 number starts your triple bond, therefore 1 position is your ine. Therefore, the name of this compound is 3-methyl bute 1-ine, or also we can call 3-methyl 1-butene. This 1 can be kept before bute or just before ine. This 1 indicates where is my triple bond. Ine before I am writing. That means it indicates the position of triple bond. I can also write it is in front of bute. Right? 1-butene also it indicates. Okay. Similarly, if you see the next compound, in this also, from this side I can give, this side I can give. Again, if I choose this side from right to left, then only I can get the substituent least position, and the substituent is ethyl. Therefore, 3-ethyl pent 1-ine or 1-pentyne is okay. Then coming to the this compound, again 1, 2, 3, no substituent, easy. 2-pentyne I can call, because position of the triple bond is starting at second carbon. Therefore, 2 I should say, or pent 2-ine is also okay. These all are fine. If I keep one isopropyl group to this, for example, here one isopropyl group. Okay, this is isopropyl group. No, so numbering will change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be your long carbon chain, right? So no substituent here. This only I am taking. Okay. Now this all fine. Substituent are present. Least substituent you have to count and all. But if a triple bond and double bond both are present, then how to give the numbering and name to that compound? This is very important. Here, if you again, numbering should start from the least carbon, that olefinic carbon side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So first preference should be given to the ene. So again, how the name will come? 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, bute. Prefix will be bute. So first position is ene, third position is ine, right? Therefore, I can write bute 1-ene 3-ine. Okay. And I said no, ene should be preferred. Ene should be suffix then. Preferred is coming suffix, right? But no, because double bond, triple bond gets equal importance. Double bond is numbered first, but triple bond is pronounced as a suffix. This is called ene, ein nomenclature or something. So we cannot give one only important, other not important. Like that we cannot say. Therefore, double bond should be counted least number, but triple bond should end its suffix as ein if double triple bond both are present at the same compound. I repeat, double bond should get the least number if a compound contains two double bond and triple bonds together. Then ein must be the suffix. Again, position we have to mention, right? So you try, practice. If you are not getting anything, you can tell me here, like this substituents, right? For example, if I give you pH here, then what is the name of this? Again, we know from where we have to count. Least number, double bond. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 5, therefore pent. So, pent I should start. No, before pent, there is a substituent onto the second position. I should say first 2-phenyl. 2-phenyl. 1, no, pent, 1 ene, 3 ein, right? And I am saying that if a pH means benzene, right? I should not call here as benzene. Somebody asked me this question. This is very important. If this pH is substituent for your long chain alkyl group, you have to pronounce it as phenyl, not benzene. I know this is a benzene, but this is a substituent to this long chain carbon. Therefore, I should call it to be phenyl. For example, if it would have been simple benzene and one alkyl group onto it, this is called methyl benzene, right? You have studied this nomenclature. I will tell in the aromatic hydrocarbons later this one. In this case, I can call benzene. But here also, so the substituent is same. There is no change. Let me write again that. Look at this. Though I am saying its name is phenyl, its structure is not changed. See, this is benzene only. Right? Instead of writing this, I call it to be pH. Or else, I can also write C6H5. Right? Previously also I told you. C6H5 also phenyl, or this group also phenyl, or this also phenyl. If it is present like this, I should pronounce it as phenyl group, not benzene. Please make a note. If it is as a substituent, you have to say this one as the substituent phenyl only, not benzene. Okay? This is about your nomenclature. Then, coming to the isomerism. So, isomerism already I explained for alkanes, alkenes. Isomerism what? Isomers. Compounds having same molecular formula are called isomers. Right? So, as I told you, there are this ethine. Can it show any isomerism? No, it can't show. Even propine? No, it cannot show any isomerism. So, from butane, isomerism start. Right? Because it needs little more chain, longer chain to show change in the structure and all. Right? Okay. So, butane onwards, you will have the isomerism. Isomers it will show. So, butane, may I write like this? Yeah. This is, may I call 1-butane? What are the possibilities of this 1-butane can be written in another way? 1. Yeah, I'll write like this. This is the second way. See here, count again number of carbons. So, position of this triple bond also. Right? Here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, where is my triple bond in the first one? First place. Where is in my second structure? Second. So, this I call it to be 2-butane. Right? So, due to the difference in the position of the triple bond, I call these two Okay, is the first they are isomers? Yes, they are isomers having the same molecular formula. What is that? CH3, CH2, CH, right? So this is the molecular formula. Same here also, the molecular formula same, right? We can count how many number of carbons and how many number of hydrogens. Then both of them are having the same carbon and hydrogen, therefore same molecular formula, therefore they are called as isomers. But what isomers they are? Because we have studied chain isomers, positional isomers and all. Yeah. Here the triple bond position is different. In this first place, in this second place. Therefore, these are called as positional isomers. Right? Yeah. This is for butane. Okay. Then shall we go for the pentyne? So pentyne you need to write 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is your pentyne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you write any other possible structures other than what I have written? Try yourself and inform me. But as I know, I can write only these three possibilities. I cannot write more than this for the pentyne. Therefore, let me give the nomenclature for them. So the nomenclature for the first one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 pentyne, and this is 2 pentyne, and this is 1, 2, 3, right? 3 methyl butane. Okay, it is but. Now I cannot call it as pent because one methyl group is in the form of substituent. Still, all the three have the same molecular formula. Count the carbons if you have any doubt. Count the hydrogens. Okay. These first two I call them as again positional isomers. Then either 1 and 3 or 2 and 3, I call them as chain isomers because they differ in the chain, right? In the first two, if you see, chain is same, long carbon chain of 5-member group, right? But therefore I cannot call them as chain isomers. But the position of the triple bond is different, therefore I call them as positional isomers. But whereas if I compare 1 and 3rd structure and 2 and 3rd structure, they differ in the chain system only. This is 4 carbon long chain, whereas these two are 5 carbon. Therefore I call them as the chain isomers. Okay, the same explanation I have even given for the alkenes. Please cross check. Same, alkene also has positional isomers, chain isomers, etc. Then there is a question for you. Write isomers of fifth member of alkyne. Okay. See, I am not even giving the name nor the structure, but asking you the question in this form. You should know what is that fifth member and you should know its formula or name. Then write all different possible structure for this. So that is your work. Okay. Now let us discuss about structure of triple bond. That is how bond angle and geometry of this triple bond. In covalent bonding, we have already studied about this structure, but let me write again. Carbon having 6 electrons, right? 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. This is its ground state electronic configuration. Excited state electronic configuration of this is 2s1, 2p3, like this. One electron will excite and enter into this p. And now sp hybridization. Therefore, this s orbital and p orbital will combine to form sp hybridized, two sp hybridized orbitals, right? And if it is 3 involved, sp2 hybridized orbitals. If all are involved, sp3. If 3 is involved, sp2. If all are involved, sp3, right? If 3 orbitals are involved, sp2 hybridization. If all are involved, sp3 hybridization. In sp3 hybridization we see for alkanes, and sp2 hybridization we have seen for the alkene. That means double bonded carbons are sp2 hybridized, single bonded carbons are sp3 hybridized, whereas your triple bonded carbons are sp hybridized. Only 2 orbitals will combine. See here, let me write the structures of how to write the hybridized orbitals. One is big lobe and one is small lobe, and another sp hybridized orbital, one small lobe and one big lobe, right? So they arranged linearly. You no need to take it into this side, vertical, horizontal and all. They themselves will be arranged like this. This is one carbon's hybridized orbitals. Similarly, another carbon's hybridized orbitals are 2. See here, one big lobe, one small lobe I am writing, and another small lobe and another big lobe for another carbon's 2 sp hybridized orbitals. Am I clear to you? See here, 2 sp hybridized orbitals of 2 carbons we have written. These are 2 different carbons we are writing. Please don't get confused. I am just revising your structure of chemical bond. Okay, then what happens to the other orbitals? Other orbitals are what? See here, these 2 p orbitals are present here. They are unhybridized. They are present as it is. See here, may I write? One is like this and another is like this. Here, as they are not hybridized, their lobes are big, same size. Here, no small big lobes, bigger size. Both are almost same size. You draw properly. They all are same size, right? Now, hybridized orbitals are linearly overlapping, right? Hybrid. Okay, so this sp hybridized orbitals are linearly overlapped. So linearly overlapped forms sigma bond. So this is C sigma bond. This is one carbon. This is another carbon's hybridized orbital. Therefore, one sigma bond. You can imagine your, may I write here? C single bond C. This is one carbon's orbitals. This is another carbon's orbitals. Then hydrogen will be there for you. So that hydrogen will overlap here. Again, this is also linear overlapping and form sigma bond, right? Therefore, here is one hydrogen I can write. Here is one hydrogen I can write. So, all sigma bonds, how they are overlapping, okay? Now, overlapping of pi orbitals, p orbitals I mean to say. So, 2p, for example, if it is, this is 2px, this is 2py, this is 2pz. 2px over, so this is 2py, this is 2pz, right? This is 2py, this is 2pz, right? So 2pz will overlap sidewise and forms a pi bond. Similarly, see here, this 2pz I have to write now. Okay, this, okay, 2py I can write, 2py and 2pz, right? So 2py also overlap sidewise and give you another pi bond. So these 2 pi bonds, may I write like this here? See, these 2 pi bonds, and the sigma bond is here already with the carbon-carbon bond, right? This is actual structure of your triple bond. Similarly, we have learnt even for sp2 hybridization also. In sp2 hybridization, 3 orbitals will be there. So 3 lobes you have to write in triangular fashion linearly. Thereby, 2 hydrogens will overlap with the 2 carbons, and linear overlapping will form you one sigma bond, and again similarly one pi bond will be there. I hope, please check it out. All together you have to consider. When you are studying about structure of triple bond, you have to recollect structure of double bond and structure of single bond also, right? And here, what is the bond angle and what is the shape? Geometry is what? What is the geometry? As it is linear, the geometry will be linear. And it is linear, the bond angle will be 180 degrees. HCC bond angle is 180 degrees, right? Now, what is the strength of carbon-carbon bond? Here, I am writing all the three together. Carbon-carbon bond, carbon single bond, double bond, and carbon single bond. Who is more having more strength? Obviously, strength-wise, triple bond is more stronger, right? How much it is more stronger? Here, it is the numbers I am giving 823 kilojoule per mole it seems, and this is 681 kilojoule per mole, and this is only 348 kilojoule per mole. Okay, and whereas length-wise, bond length I have to see. Bond length will be reverse. Yes, bond length is like this. Bond length of alkanes is longer than alkenes than alkynes. Alkynes have shorter bond length, therefore stronger bond, more strength, enthalpy we say, right? Energy. So this is important. Please remember, bond length of carbon single bond carbon is 154 picometers, and this carbon double bond is 133 picometers, and whereas carbon triple bond will be 120 picometers. Don't know about your strength. Anyway, if you remember that is alkynes is more stronger is enough. But remember the bond strength's value 54, 33, 20. We need this one. Some numbers you need to